Hello! We are live. I might be live. Are we live? Let me know in the chat down below. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to this crucial thing where England are going to take on Wales. Welcome to me bedroom. Aren't you all so lucky to be in here? Very, very, very few people have ever stepped foot in this bedroom. Is everything okay with the sound? Is everything okay with the... Well, I know I'm an ugly prick, but you know. Is everything okay with the way things look? Let me know in the comments. Good evening, Emmett. Hello, Enrique Jr., Jim Socks, Vile. That's the wrong thing on a Tuesday. Louis, hello. Chris Council, hello. Matthew Smith, such a hunk. Hello, everybody. Welcome. It's England versus Wales. It's a big game. England only need a point to qualify for the next round. But that's besides the point. We need to go out and we need to get the victory. Just in case you can't be asked to sit here and watch me ramble on top of the likes of Alex Scott and Danny Gabardon and Rio Ferdinand and Gary Lineker and Lord Alan Shearer. Go and watch a couple of videos on the Hold and Give YouTube channel where I've done a little bit of a breakdown of the USA game and also a little bit of a here's what Gareth Southgate needs to do. And he almost did all of them. He almost did all the things. I was like, here's 5 things we need to do. There's a couple of things we'll find out if he does them during the game. But in terms of team selection, Rashford starts. I was calling for that. Sterling to be dropped and Mount to be dropped. I was calling for that, but he's not gone for Foden in the middle. He's gone for Foden off the left. Because, of course, it matters to Gareth what you do for your club team unless you're Harry Maguire, because if that mattered, he wouldn't be on the bastard pitch at all, which, again, would be weird because he has been one of England's best players so far in the World Cup of 2022. Want a Welsh perspective, Ross? No, I don't, because I can't imagine it's very, very nice indeed. You know, it's been quite doom and gloom for the Welsh, hasn't it, so far in the World Cup. It's nice for you to be there, of course. You know, first time since 1958 that you've been to a World Cup. Hey, I can't imagine what that must be like. Anyway, the teams are... I'm only joking. I mean, what do you expect? I'm sitting here with 3 lines on me shirt, quite literally. So we'll go through the team, shall we? England have gone for Pickford, a back 4 of Walker, Stones, Maguire, Shaw, a midfield 3 of Rice, Henderson, Bellingham, and a front 3 of Rashford, Foden, and Kane up the middle. Fancy football content when? I don't know. I doubt we'll do any fantasy football content, to be honest with you, because I'm bloody awful at it. I'm not doing too bad this season in the Cultaholic League. I think I'm about 3rd or 4th or some in that ballpark. So, yeah, that's how England line up. I lost my trail of thought there, sorry. Wales are lining up. Danny Ward in goal. Williams, Mepham, Rodon, Davies, Allen, Ampadu, Ramsey, James, Bale and Moore. So that's a change of formation for the Welsh. Kiefer Moore's up the middle. I'd assume Gareth Bale's going to be up the middle as well. James wide? No, maybe Bale's out wide. Is he? Bale wide, James wide, Ramsey, Ampadu, Allen in the midfield 3, and a back 4 of Davies, Rondon, Mepham and Williams. Ward and goal. So we'll see how Gareth Bale gets on out wide, which side we belong. I think they're quite flexible, aren't they? Aren't they quite flexible, the old Dan James and the old Gareth Bale? They could be either side. It would be funny if it was a bit of a red herring and Kiefer Moore is playing out wide. That would be fantastic because he is a huge donkey. He's not that bad, actually. He's done quite well for Bournemouth this season. Alex Mumby reckons Wales are just a glorified championship team. Scathing remarks. Or scathing, I should say. I haven't got my teeth in today. Did a voiceover this afternoon. My mouth's a bit like... Can't move it properly anymore. Anyway, those were the teams. Those are the teams. I don't quite agree with Henderson playing, to be honest with you, but it's Wales. We should be beating Wales fine. Henderson's been there and done it. He's obviously a fantastic player in his own right. But, you know, I know 3 Liverpool fans who are pals of mine. In fact, I work with one. Jack Atkins, his name is. Owen's not really said this, but Jack Atkins has said this in the office, that his legs have gone. Which is why I thought it was so bemusing when we were getting overrun by the Americans in midfield the other day that we brought on Henderson. When his legs, apparently, according to multiple Liverpool fans, they've long gone. So we'll have to see how he gets on this evening. He should be fine going up against Joe Allen and Ethan Ampadu and Aaron Ramsey. Ramsey's gone, as far as I'm concerned. He's finished. Well, he's not finished. He might be finished. Ampadu, hear good things about him all the time. Why don't Chelsea give him a chance? I've got no idea. Is he still there? I don't even know. And Joe Allen, once called the Welsh Javi, wasn't he? Or something like that, way back in the day. It's funny that I used to live with a Liverpool fan at uni who, when they signed him, I was at uni, Liverpool this is, and he was buzzing thinking that was the signing that was going to take them to the league title. And was it the Welsh PLO? Beg my pardon. It must be the beard. So it can't be anything else, can it? But anyway, we should be fine with Henderson in the middle. I'm surprised as well that Harry Kane's playing. If I was Gareth Southgate, I would give Harry Kane a rest in this game because I thought he didn't look 100% fit at all against the USA. So we'll have to see how he gets on. Hopefully he's fine. Hopefully he's fine. Bloody hell, there's someone from South Africa watching. Fraser Wilson, come on down. Put your score predictions in the chat. What do you reckon the score will be? I'm going for a 2-0 England win. I fancy a 2-0. I think it's going to be a really ugly game of football. Such an ugly game of football. We've got a 0-0 there, a 4-0, a 4-0 Wales, 2 4-0 Wales, 3-0 to the King's finest. 2-1 England, 3-1 England, 5-9. That's optimistic, that one there. Didn't Joe Allen have the highest pass? That's a stat I want to read out. Didn't Joe have the highest percentage of pass completion in the world once upon a time? Alex Mumby, I would argue that's quite hard not to have when you only pass the ball 5 yards. 5 yards that way and 5 yards that way. Never so much forwards. 1-0 England, unfortunately. We're getting more scores coming in. 0-0 all day. It's going to be a tough game, I think. But it's nice to see that Wales are going for it. I saw Rob Page in the press saying that Wales need to put their big boy panties on. I should stop doing accents. But they're going to go for it because, of course, they need to win to get through. England should hopefully capitalise on that extra space that'll be afforded up down the wide bits, hopefully. That's why I wanted to play Rashford instead of Sterling, because of his pace and because he's a better finisher. Here we go. I've got iPlayer on, so I'm going to be a little bit behind. Just a bit of warning there. But hopefully, when the game starts, I'll be able to put the score in the top corner of the screen seamlessly, because I spent a little bit trying to set this up. So hopefully it works. My God, I hope it works. Do it for Charlotte Church. How's she doing these days? I've got no idea. Who's my favourite English player? I mean, in terms of the players who are playing today, I would probably say the favourite one is Bellingham. Dog's bollocks, isn't he? Rolls Royce of a central midfielder. Yeah, he just looks too good. It makes you sick. I was saying this the other day, because I've watched the 2 games so far in the pub. I've had a great time, and both times when I hear it on the TV, it just makes me feel a bit weird, because the last time the World Cup was on, Bellingham was 14. I don't know it was 4.5 years ago, but still, he was 14. Aye, bollocks to you. Spoilers in the chat. I'm going to have to just sort of ignore the chat when the game's on, I think, because there will be someone in there. I know what you're like. There will be someone in there who tries to put the goals in if they watch it, if they're privileged enough to have a television in front of them. But what I'm going to have to do with iPlayer. How far is behind iPlayer? It's a way. It's an official time period, isn't it? Like 1 minute and 30 seconds, or is it 30 seconds or something like that? A minute or two, about 40 seconds or so. We're getting lots of different times. It's behind. That's all we need to know. We've got Ian Rush in the studio. I don't know what to make about that. Obviously a good player in his day. My opinion of him is obviously blighted with being a Newcastle fan and just sort of being half conscious of when he played for Newcastle. Will you show your wardrobe, Ross? No, I will not, Emmett. Massive nose. Stormzy's on my TV right now. I guess that's what's coming up. Spoil everybody for on iPlayer. Stormzy's coming up. So I am going to ignore the chat, I reckon, when the game starts, just to make sure I don't get any spoilers and you get the organic reactions. Look at the state of that mullet in the past. Live for me, but in the past for you, no doubt, if you've got a TV in front of you. Who wins the whole World Cup? Asked Jared. Easy one for me. Got to be Brazil. If not England, and if we're not going to bring it home, got to be Brazil just because I've got them in the offer sweepstake. And I win, I can't remember how much it was. A sum of money. A sum of money. So we'll go for a Brazil win. If not them, Denmark, because that's the other team I got. We all got 2 teams in the office draw. Look at all those bucket hats with the Welsh. Astonishing how they've made a bit of clothing, one of their own. Unlucky for you, what the hell's that say? Burley Nation. What do I think of Tottenham? Weird. They're weird, aren't they? Got the manager, got the stadium, got some of the players, not all of the players. They're looking good earlier on in the season, and then they dropped off massively, just off the face of a cliff. Cliff? I tell you, my voice is not in yet. My mouth. There. Stormzy just appeared on my television there, so that's how far I am behind. That's fantastic to see. He's looking very miserable in a darkened room. England badge is flashing up around him. Can you hear much of the television, by the way? Because I'm terrified that when, the VOD version of this goes live, that you'll be able to... 3 mins behind, is that what I am? Yeah, can you hear any of the stream? Because I'm terrified that... Can't hear any TV, that's good to hear. Just I'm terrified that when the VOD goes live, after this stream ends in a couple of hours' time, that it'll just get copyright stricken if there's too much sort of TV noise in the background. So when it comes to the game starting, it'll be an easy sync point because hopefully, I say hopefully, fingers crossed, I'll hit a button and the time that's on the match will appear, so you'll be able to sort of sync up with me if you want to do that. Or if you want to be a knob and spoil it in the chat, That's your prerogative as well. All the best to you. I can't stop you. I wish I could, but it's going to happen. I'm braced for it. I'm prepared. 181 people watching. Jesus Christ. Thank you very much. Give it a subscribe if you want. I think you have to subscribe to get involved in the chat. So thank you for everyone who has subscribed to this new YouTube channel so far. It's going better than I thought it would. We've done more views than I ever thought we'd do with the first few videos. That first Southgate ones, it was either approaching 10k or it's got over 10k. So it's going all right. We'll make it a fist of it. We'll see how it goes. Again, this is all just going down in my spare time. My stuff with Cultaholic isn't changing at all. So nothing's changing there. Give it a like. Leave a comment. Do all the 193 we're watching now. Bloody hell. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Hold and Give. Some football things will happen here, that's for sure. There's a tier list being recorded. I'm going to edit that tomorrow evening after work. That'll go live imminently. Well, in a couple of days. Maybe tomorrow. I don't know. Who knows? And of course, I've got my FIFA streams, which take place on the Cultaholic Twitch channel every single Wednesday at 3 p.m. GMT. They're starting at the moment. I am the manager of Hartlepool. I've somehow signed, despite being in League 2 and having piss all money whatsoever, signing Jason Denier on a free transfer. Managed to get him in there. Also signed Afif, who is Qatar's star man, as I found out in the last game that they played before getting knocked out. How embarrassing is that, eh? The first hosts ever to be knocked out straight away, innit? Or not to win a game. Not to win their opening game, or not to win a game at all. Whatever it was. There's a couple of stats that makes them a bit sad. Oh well. But I've signed Afif from Qatar on a free transfer. Who else have I signed? And I've signed that Big John. Big John from Real Sociedad. It's a huge, huge stream. So I'll be back tomorrow at 3 p.m. GMT on the Cultaholic Twitch channel. But if you cannot catch it live, don't worry, because I'll be doing edited down packages on this very channel going live every Saturday. The first one is live, so if you missed the first episode last week, the little cut, well, I say a little one, it's about half an hour. It was about a 2.5 hour stream, cut down into half an hour, so that's on the channel right now. Give that a watch if you're interested in that kind of thing and want to get up to speed. The guy Duke I nearly signed last week, I tried to sign this guy called Duke for Australia last week, and I just had no money. I tried to go for a Cho as well, the Mexican goalkeeper, just had no money. Had no money, so I couldn't get either of them. And of course, the keeper's doing well in the World Cup again, and Mr. Duke scored for Australia the other day as well. Over 200 people watching now. Like Spike. Give the stream a like, will you? Any interaction we can get is very much appreciated and helps us along in our quest to finally get the football content working on the YouTube machine. Ba-ba-da-ba-ba-ba. I was at that game in 2016. Just in case you are joining us now, I'm watching on iPlayer, so I'm a little bit behind. I'll get the score on the screen when the game starts. You'll be able to sync up if you want to do that. But I'm just now seeing a sort of recap of the England versus Wales game in 2016, which I was there for live. What an awful game of football it was. I remember being irate, and I mean irate, at Raheem Sterling. Because never before have I seen a player put in less effort on a football pitch. It was terrible to see. I think it was the day before as well. I'd been to Disneyland and I'd been tricked onto going onto that bloody roller coaster. Don't like roller coasters. That one that's indoors and it's got Steven Tyler playing, Aerosmith, and all that sort of stuff. You start stationary and you go, whoa, 100 miles an hour straight away. Pulled the left bicep that was holding on that type. It was horrible. Hate roller coasters. Did the Indiana Jones one as well. They're not for me, roller coasters. I was tricked onto that one as well. I was like, does this go upside down? And they were like, nah. And of course, you've got that long queue. And once you're in the queue, deep into it at least, there's no way out. So when you get round the corner, remember looking up and you see the big loop-de-loop. And I was just like, I had to go on it. I did it. I was a brave boy. How are we all doing? Let me know your score predictions if you're just joining in the chat. I reckon a 2-0 England win. Goals from Rashford and a bullet header from Harry Maguire. In fact, no, a bicycle kick from Harry Maguire after his little cameo against the USA where he did the little mazy dribble. A mazy dribble from Harry Maguire. Who would have thought it? God, remember how positive everyone was after this? I'm just watching now the highlights from the Iran game. Also, a bit of analysis from the Iran game. Imagine remember how confident everybody was after that game. amazing how quickly things change in the football, isn't it? We're getting a 3-0 from Stunt Pope. Arturas reckons 3-2 England. When we had Maguire at Hull, he loved a mazy run. It is weird how certain players... I reckon Maguire is very much one of those sort of Johnny Evans type of players. Man United is too big for them, but somewhere a bit lower, they're just fine. Maguire at Leicester, fantastic. Evans at Leicester, fantastic. The pair of them at Man United might just be a bit too high. I don't know. We're getting a 5-1 England, a 2-1 England. Maguire's a solid defender, just not top class. Any Ipswich Town fans in the chat? Well, there's one at least. There's one there. I know that for a fact. They're doing all right this season, aren't they? In League 1. League 1. Evans was class for West Brom. That's what I'm saying. People used to take the piss out of Johnny Evans when he played for Man United like 10 years ago. Then he goes to West Brom. Then he goes to Leicester, builds himself back up. Good player. I'm sure Sunderland fans used to call him the Kaiser when he used to play for them. That might have just been the Sunderland fans I know, though. That means they think he's like Franz Beckenbauer, just to make that clear. Let us know who you support in the chat. I am a Newcastle United fan, unfortunately. It's a weird thing to be here in 2022. Big old moral dilemma. No super chats yet because we're not monetized. I need to get to 4,000 watch hours. That's what I need to do. So this stream will hopefully help us get there. 214 people watching now. Thank you all very much for joining us today. Us? There's just me, isn't there? There's me and my friend Jack. Hello, everybody. Oh, it could be a bit messy later on. We've got Derby County. Oh, that's been a bit weird this year, hasn't it? Up the better. Mansfield Town, Sydney FC, Colchester United here. Glasgow Rangers, Millwall, Tottenham, Liverpool, Rangers, Sheffield. We just got you in the cup today. We're going to go for it. Eddie Howe reckons we're going to go for it. So I reckon you might be on for a bit of a battering there. Hopefully you are, at least anyway. I think the last time we played each other would have been... Oh, when would that have been? Would that have been when McLaren was manager in the other cup? We got beat 1-0 at home? Maybe? I can't remember. Spurs fans there, West Ham fans, Celtic, Leeds. Up the pools! Ashton Morgan, Hartlepool. Check us out on Twitch every single Wednesday afternoon at 3 p.m. GMT. I'm taking Hartlepool to the top. I need a Hartlepool shirt, by the way, but I don't want to pay £43 for a Hartlepool shirt. Where do you get cheap Hartlepool shirts from? Do I follow the Bundesliga? I tell you, I've got the Sky installed here, and I just watch it when it's on and there's nothing else on. I watch the highlights. eBay. I looked on eBay. There was none on there either. Turkish market, DHgate. Oh, I can't say DHgate, can I? I just did twice. I'm not going down to Hartlepool. I asked you about a football channel when you were doing that punishment in the dog cage, watching WrestleMania X7. Well, we gave it a go back at the old place, and it never worked because we just did podcasts and the odd list, and it just never took off. So hopefully, I know, obviously, you know, through Cultaholic and that, I know more about what works on YouTube and what doesn't work on YouTube. So we'll give it a YouTubey go, so to speak. So we'll see what happens. Who knows, though? It's gone all right so far, though. It's gone better than I thought it would do. Someone needs to sort out Foden's haircut. It's a stunning fade, let me tell you. Stunning fade. His eyebrow needs sorted out. I was about to tell him to grow up, but then he is about 14 years old, isn't he? A weekly 1 hour podcast would be great. A podcast is obviously something I've been thinking about, but I just don't want to do another, you know, weekly review football podcast sort of thing, because there's 17 million of them, and everybody's already got their favourite, haven't they? So what's the point in us just doing something that tens of thousands of other people are already doing? So if I can think of an angle, if you've got an angle I can cover, let me know. And I'll steal it from you with zero remorse. Teams are in the tunnel. Hopefully when the game starts, I'll be able to just put the score up in this corner here, and you'll be able to sync up if that's what you want to do. I'm going to have to try and avoid the chat because I know there'll be some people who are lucky enough to have the television on. I wish I could have the television on, but I've got no TV in my bedroom, just this here computer. Just a reminder, just in case you haven't seen the teams yet, England are going Pickford, Walker, Stones, Maguire, Shaw. Rice, Henderson, Bellingham, Rashford, Foden, Kane. And then Wales are going Ward, Williams, Mepham, Rodon, Davies, Allen, Ampadu, Ramsey, James, Bale, and Kiefer Moore. Kiefer Moore! He sounds like he should be a Geordie, but he's not. Kiefer Moore up front. Ha ha. WTF moment sounds like a good idea. It just, at the moment, using images is a no-go, because I don't know if you know what the going rate is for using images from places like Getty and something like that, but it's too expensive. It's too expensive. Adulton's crap. God. How many people got watching now? Let's have a live check-in with the live views. 216! Thank you all for joining us. I know that Goldbridge is live. Other more prestigious people are live. So I'm honoured that you decided to join me here. I can see some Welsh people in the crowd. Such a large percentage of the Welsh wear bucket hats. Astonishing. Teams are coming out. Ball boys picked the ball up. Here we go. England should win. I'm going 2-0. Any last-minute score predictions, get them in the chat. Why the hell not? Just in case you've joined the stream live. Live? Late? You're on time, but still. Like, Spike, indeed. Give the stream a like if you haven't already. Helps us along. Wonderfully so. 1-1, Foden and Bale to score. Don't understand any of it, but the Welsh anthem is sick. Interesting. 3-0, 5-0. Lots of England wins coming in with the predictions. A board draw from Mayor Cho. Very interesting. One of the lads I used to go to uni with is currently in Qatar and will be getting the first plane home, of course, because, well, I assume they'll be getting the first plane home. Because the Welsh team should lose here, shouldn't they? They should lose. I don't know the words either, but it is a nice song. Whoever said that anyway. I'm getting muted for the Welsh anthem because it's the last chance they'll get to sing it. I understand. That's completely fine. They haven't even heard that because I'm muted. Wales have to batter us 4-0, I think, to get through. Scotland have a good anthem, but have a bad team. Oh, here we go. People are ahead of me now. Rashford's not singing God Save the King, good lad. Spoilers for me, I'm still on the Welsh anthem here. I'm just looking at Robert Page. And now old man singing very passionately and pointing at himself on the screen. Welsh anthem over. That's where I am currently. Twitch is on a Wednesday, 3 PM GMT. Hartley Powell career mode. Up the Powells. Here's the English anthem. I'm not singing along. Can't be bothered. Will this be a regular thing? I don't know. I just had no plans for tonight's game, so I'm just live streaming it. If I've got plans for the other games, which I assume I will do, I will go and watch them in the pub. Well, you have to savour the World Cup, don't you? Hey, if this gets monetized and becomes more of a full-time thing, then we'll start doing more regularly stuff. I can't do it, Jason Silver, because of the old monetization thing not being achieved yet. Not standing? No, I'm not. I'm sat down. I'm all framed up to be sat down, not stood up. God save our king. There we go. Lovely. Wonderfully observed here in the bedroom. God, I hate those wankers who take the bloody World Cup replica trophies to the stadiums with them. Well, hate's a strong word. I think why I think what do you gain from going, hey, with your fake World Cup in the crowd? Kyle Walker's an interesting selection tonight. Is he fully fit? I assume so. At least England have started Phil Foden, who should be one of the first names on the team sheet, but isn't for some reason. Very strange from Sir Garth. Kiefer Moore. Sorry, I'm just looking at the team lineups again on my delayed, obviously, iPlayer stream. I'll be able to hopefully just flash up the old timer in the top corner imminently so you can sync up if that's the sort of thing you want to do. Trippier and Saka being left out is sacrilege. Well, Trippier had a bad game against the USA. Saka's a bit... I can sort of agree with Saka. I think him getting drops a bit harsh. Maybe Sir Garth is just resting him at this point with the latter round surely ahead. I agree as well. Trent would be perfect for games when teams sit back. I was saying that against the USA because Trippier was having a mare going forward and defensively. Every single attack it felt like the USA had was going down Trippier's side, so... He was not doing very well defensively, so why not get the much better attacking option? Trent Alexander-Arnold on. His defending's not going to be any worse. Look at that pose from Harry Maguire. Ding dong. Just going through the England teams on my iPlayer at the moment. Trippier is also good for my FPL team. He's in mine for sure. He has been most of, if not all the season. Ben White's injured, is he? Oh, he's got COVID. Has he got COVID? Did I read that? Has he got a cold? Can't remember what it was. Sorry, Kayla, our FPL team. Got a joint effort this year. Right, we're getting ready to kick off. I think it's Wales who are going to kick off. Who does Tom Campbell support? No one, I don't think. Well, I think... Is it West Brom, I think, his family? Ugh. I think it's West Brom. Someone from Birmingham. Could be Wolves. His brother is West Brom. Right, hopefully. This is the moment of truth I've been building up for in my head the entire stream. Because again, I'm very new to this entire live streaming game. I'm new to the thing that you use to set up the streams and all that sort of stuff. I'm new to all of this. This is all in my spare time. I'm learning on the fly here, everybody. So hopefully, I'll be able to show you the score in just a second. Oh, we're all taking the knee. Lovely stuff. Get them told. Get them told. So here you go if you want to sync up. Where's the score? It's not there yet. Get in! Ding dong! If you want to sync up, that is exactly how far I am into the game. Oh, saucy. We're 1 minute and 40 seconds behind. I'll drink to that. Oh, that first sip is always a burner. Goldbridge has got nothing on this. Exactly. He's got everything on this. He's got a fancy bloody studio, that man. Ross, how's the toes feeling? Keep your toes out. Keep my toes out your mind, I should say. Right, do I just ignore the chat? We have spam. Piss off. You there? Piss off. I should have... Get in. Who's popular? You know you're successful when you get the bits. I don't know what that means, but we'll take it. Is that a Twitch bit? I assume it's a Twitch bit. Here goes Harry Maguire on a long run. Out wide to Rashford. I'm not going to commentate the entire game. That's what the commentators are there for. Can you just confirm in the chat again? if you can hear any sounds coming from the BBC, because I don't want any sounds from the BBC coming through. No sound, delightful. I can hear a slight trickling in the distance over here. Luke Shaw needs a good... I say Luke Shaw needs a good game tonight, but there's no one there to replace them, is there? I love Kieran Trippier. He's far better than I ever thought he would be for Newcastle. He runs games for Newcastle, but he's not a left-back. No. He's not a left-back. Now here we have another example of Gareth Southgate saying that we've controlled the game from the back against the USA, which was just, Maguire and Stones passing the ball backwards and forwards because the USA had our midfield marked, and therefore the centre-halves had no options to pass to. That's controlling the game from the back, apparently. Here we go, Rashford. Here we go, Rashford. Good start from the England. Wales are ranked number 19th in the world. I mean, to be fair, Iran were ranked 20th, weren't they? Iran's 20th, yeah. Unbelievable scenes. Declan Rice. So it looks like Wales have got... Is that Ramsey just pushing the ball, or is he playing centre forward? It looks like they're playing 4-4-2. Bale on the right, Allen and Ampadu. Then James on the left, with Moore and Ramsey. Ramsey's been a bit naughty, isn't he? On Declan Rice, that's twice now. He's had a little nibble. No mixing for Honey JD, exactly. I've got none. I need to go shopping. So we're raw dogging it. I think the kid's saying it. We're raw dogging it. Up the England. That definitely didn't go out from Rashford there. He controlled that wonderfully. Raw dog, no cap. Belgium should definitely not be second in the world. It is staggering how much they have persisted with Roberto Martinez. Staggering. Unbelievable how much they've persisted with that man. Could you imagine having that group of players and giving them to Roberto Martinez? Unbelievable. Surely they could have got somebody better after the 2018 World Cup. I understand leaving them in charge until then, but after after they didn't win that one, surely it was time for a change. What's he given there? That Welsh shirt is lovely. That is the tier list, by the way, that's coming to the channel over the next day or two. Should be tomorrow night, hopefully. Myself and Scouse Man. Wonderful, wonderful human being. A beautiful personality. A great character. Joe Atkins of me and him have sat down and ranked all the home kits from the 2022 World Cup. 2 of which are on display in front of us right now. One of which is ranked really highly. One of which is ranked really lowly. Can you guess which one is nice? Can you guess which one is bad? Japan's shirt is stunning. I'm not going to give away too much. But in terms of Wales and England, we are at opposite ends of the scale here. Opposite ends of the tier list. Yeah, England's is bad. I hate England so much. A victim of this weird template that Nike have brought in where they've cut the shoulder plate off from the torso bit. I know my terminology fine. Go on then, Jordan. Barry, is it? I always forget. Is it Jordan Bryan or Jordan Barry? Jordan Barry Henderson. Jordan Bryan Henderson. Nigeria's is lovely. It's a shame it's not at the World Cup. I was gagging to get there. 2018 one, I think. I've got the 2014 one with Shola on the back. Because obviously. Had to be done. Who is the starting 11 for England in 2026? Interesting question put forward there by Alex Mumby. I might save that for a video when England get knocked out eventually of this World Cup. I'm trying to think of all the young players who are doing the rounds now. I was being told in the pub the other day that Bellingham's younger brother is apparently just as good, if not better than he is. Is it Joby or Job? I'm not sure how you pronounce it. Job Bellingham? Joby Bellingham? Jacob Ramsey's a decent shout. He sort of dropped off though, hasn't he? He burst on the scene more than Micah Richards ever did, but he sort of dropped off under Gerrard. Tamori should be there 1,000%. Good shout, Soupy. It's been another thrilling start to an England game. Although that doesn't matter in a World Cup. All that matters is winning. But I guess you want to do it with a bit of style, don't you? When you're not playing against the bigger nations. Harvey Elliott. I've not been blown away by Harvey Elliott, me. I don't watch Liverpool every week, obviously. But you never see him... I know he gets to start now and again, doesn't he, in the midfield? But I've never seen him really... I don't know what the phrase is there. Take the breath away. Catch the eye. Go on, then. Rashford's in. He's in. He's saved. Ward's done well there. Spread himself like prime Schmeichel. Kind of. I was laughing the other day when that thing with Hennessy happened. And obviously realising that Ward would be taking his place, because you just go off... Honestly, my main sort of outlook, what am I trying to say? The main sort of coverage for Leicester has just been looking at all the fantasy football chat. And anyone who's had Ward in this season has just moaned about how crap he is. So obviously, I've taken their opinion as my own. So I was laughing, thinking, let's shoot on sight. Crap goalkeeper. Let's go. But then I saw a thing the other day that was like... Has he got the same amount of clean sheets as Edison has for Man City this season? But he's made something like 40-odd more saves? Something like that? It was almost a claymore by Hennessy. It was fantastic. He's not all that bad at all, is Ward, is what I'm saying. Gordon's got it now, the answer. He's the answer. Out wide to Walker. Walker cuts it back to Jordan Henderson. Crap pass, you mackin' bastard. Obviously, when Jordan Henderson does bad stuff, he will be a mackin' bastard. When he does good stuff, he'll be one of England's finest ever footballers. I always loved that Manuel Almunia was eligible to play for England. That was a weird period of time, I thought, when he was Arsenal's number one. Never quite got at Manuel Almunia. Thought he was rash. Well, we've had one sort of chance. Well, one clear-cut chance. Rashford could have done with dinking it like that fella the other day. Was it yesterday? Abubakar, whatever the hell he was called. Up and over. Went so high. Rashford could have done with a bit of that confidence. Troy Parrott won't be there in 2026, surely. Surely. Too much for him to do. How the hell do you say that name? Stephanie Frappart will become the first woman in history to referee a World Cup match for Costa Rica versus Germany. Or as that fella says, I always forget his name. Speed. I show Speed or something. Costa Rico, he reckons they're called. And Argentina. That's one of the saddest moments of my last month. I follow like those Lad Bible and Sport Bible bollocks pages on FaceB. And one of them was like, whatever his name is, I Show Speed, whatever the hell he was called, has released a banger of a World Cup song. I've been listening to, obviously, Tears for Fears, getting involved in that sort of stuff, and they're awful songs. So I was thinking, finally, we're getting a good World Cup song for 2022. Flicked on that one, and it was bloody awful. Maybe the worst of the lot. And he names all the teams at the start and speaks about Costa Rica and Argentina. I Show Speed is on Speed. I assume that's why he was called Speed. Because of the D-Rugs. Getting a replay of this Rashford chance now. He's tried to lift it, hasn't he? Could have done with some Abubakar scoopage. Keeper's got out well, though. It's a fine save. But now we've got a free kick wide on the left. And this is prime Maguire territory. Put that on his big bastard head. Trying to avoid the chat because I know for a fact I'll get it spoiled. I'm on iPlayer just in case you joined the stream live. That's why the timer up there is so far behind. Probably what you're seeing. Luke Shaw is shaping up. He's put his hand in the air. It's in there. No. Ampadu away. Foden's got it. And he screws it wide. Drop him. That's disappointing, that. Who was that watching earlier today that was saying, like, Foden just hasn't been anywhere near as good for England than he has for Manchester City? And I'd agree with that, but I would say a large part of that is down to Southgate and the way he sets up teams. There must be a massive difference when you've got Pep telling you what to do and Gareth telling you what to do. There he is, Gareth. Done away with a waistcoat this time. He's got some sort of weird little zippy polo shirt on. There we go, Ward. Shanked it straight out. Snap hook. Good day, Ross from Australia. Loving new content. It's cool to see you doing something you love. Thank you. Phoenix? I don't know how to say that. I'm such an idiot at reading. Thank you anyway. We need James Ward-Prowse. Again, he's another player who's been given a chance but has never really taken it, has he? And I had him in my fantasy football team for the first however long of the season. On every set piece for Southampton, never got a bloody point. Never got a bloody point. Useless. Saying that, though, I would like to see him in a Newcastle shirt. I'm still not properly sold on John Joe Shelby, me, being the pivot quarterback. Why are we going back there, Declan Rice? Look how deep Wales are. Bank of 4, bank of 3. In Southgate's era of England, the under-20s team won the World Cup with Paul Simpson in charge. That's very interesting. He was McLaren's assistant manager at Newcastle back in the day. I say back in the day. Look at that percentage. 72% possession already for England, 21 for Wales. 7% in contest, whatever that means. Is that just when it goes out for a goal kick? I've never had the sound on to have it cleared up for me. Dangerous position. Free kick for England. Foul by Mepham. Who's taking this one? This would have been ideal for Trippier if he was on the pitch, but he's not. Next England manager be Pochettino. I don't... Maybe Tuchel. I can see Tuchel more than Pochettino. Alan Pardew for England manager for a laugh. It's not a laugh. Nothing's a laugh when it comes to Pardew. Nothing at all. Who have we got lining up here? We've got Shaw lining up. Foden's there. Henderson's telling them what to do for some reason. But you see the ball here, you just kick it into the goal. That's probably what he said, just like that. Where's K's are these K's? Chazy chips on Wembley Weir. Such a weird accent the proper Markhams have. I lived there for 3 years. Never ever got used to it. They say the word keys with an extra inflection, whatever the hell the word is. K's? Chase? Gerrard is England manager. Who has the worst fans in the Premier League? Fulham? Maguire's up. That's a corner ball. He's headed off the back of him. He headed off the back of him, didn't he? Surely he's off the back of his head. Oh, come on. Where's the VAR? Straight off the back of his head. Robbed. Maguire getting bullied again. Oh, we're getting suggested for the worst fans. Man United, Tottenham, Arsenal. Well, no, because they all turn up in the numbers, don't they? Fulham. They're just pointless, aren't they? Brighton are quite sedate. Is that the right word to use? I don't know. No one will come close to Wigan, though. What a pointless football club. It's a weird day to say that, considering they've just appointed Kolo Toure as the manager. Fulham are just there. Bolton were pretty much the same. Just there's no noise from them ever. Hulls can get in the bin. I was there for the game when Pardew nutted Myler. And I swear to God, they did this thing at the start of the game where they were like, the announcer in the stadium was like, "Let me hear the Tigers roar." And all the fans go, "Rawr!" I swear to God that happened. It's one of the worst things I've ever seen with my own eyes. Whoever came up with that should be banned from all forms of football and stuck on some kind of register. Rawr! Oh, Tony Khan took the money away from the podcast a long time ago. When we started being fair and unbiased. Well, we never were biased. The whole £5 thing was always a lie. I know some people believed it. Norwich fans love their family members a little too much. Interesting comment. Can neither confirm nor deny. Leicester fans with their clappers are up there. That's a bad one. Did I see that melting the half and half shit the other day? The half England, half Wales one. Half and half, anything should be burned. When it comes to football clothing, at least. Scarves, shirts, hats. Bournemouth, I don't mind, but it's just a small club, isn't it? I mean, they seem to sell out the stadium every time the game's on. Right, get wide. Here we go. Walker's out wide. Foden wants it back. He's marked out the game. It's back to Jordan Henderson. Back out wide to Walker. Walker's got it. Back to Stones. Across to Maguire. Into Rice, out to Shaw. Tiki-taka. The Gareth Southgate way. Rice to Shaw. Shaw to Rice. Rice inside to Rashford. Rashford back to Shaw. Like he's on a boat. Shaw with a deep cross to Phil. Jordan Henderson's crapped the bed. He's back to being a mackin' bastard. He's kept it in. Walker to Rice. Just hit it. Why not? Nothing else is working. He's offside, surely. What a cross that is. Nobody there. Where's Kane? Oh, that was a decent move from England. First nice bit of football we've played all game. Yes, do we have any MK Dons fans in the chat? because I've never seen one in the flesh before. Never, ever. And I went to Milton Keynes once upon a time. What a strange place. It's like a... I'm not too familiar with COD, but it felt like a COD map. All the buildings, apart from this one little bit that had a few bars, just looked the same. All the streets were straight. Right angles everywhere. Did I say MK Dons? MK Dons. Go to MK tomorrow. Why? There's an MK Dons fan in the chat. Staggering. Maguire's just missed it. Rashford's got it now. He's hit. Oh my God, he's knocked out. Williams is dead. That would have hurt, that would. Because let me tell you, those new balls, I know that everyone says they're light, but they're really hard. They pump them up that hard, they lose all their padding. You know when you play football like on a Sunday and the balls have got a little bit of... They're not soft, but like the outer layer's got a little bit of squidginess to them. Those balls the pros use, the squidginess goes. I don't know where it goes. That's got to hurt. He's lost a few brain cells there. Apparently this ball is the fastest ball in World Cup history. How do you put that in one of those things that just fires them out there and see which one goes the fastest on the same setting? Bring back the Jabulani, I say. That saying you don't know what you got, lid's gone, firmly applies to the Jabulani. I once got knocked out cold by a goal kick in the back of my head. Interesting. Who by? Was it professional? How hard is the switch to God Save Our King been for you lot? Don't know. Not a clue. I'm not asking for vuvuzelas. That was the low point of the 2010 World Cup. The 2010 World Cup, the ball, waka waka, waving flag. Fantastic. But then you got vuvuzelas, Lampard's goal getting disallowed. On the positive side, Nigel de Jong kicking Alonso in the heart. Fantastic. Ian Rush is struggling to stay awake. How old must he be now? Ian Rush. Ian Rush. Don't want to look at his moustache. Oh, his moustache. His moustache front and centre here. He's only 61? Bloody hell. That record for Newcastle, 10 league appearances, no goals. Williams has done well to get back up that quickly. I was 5, so I don't remember the 2010 World Cup, but the vibes for 2014 are off the charts for me. The 2014 World Cup came too soon for me after uni. I've said it before on videos and that, but I did my dissertation in a week. A sleepless week. And the World Cup kicked off not too soon after that deadline, and I was just... I remember watching the England... Who was the game against? One of the England games in the pub, and I fell asleep in the pub. Just sat down. Had to go home early. That's what uni does to you, if you're not prepared, like I wasn't. My first World Cup that I remember, J. O'Mahony, is 2002. The only thing I really remember from 1998 was getting the little flag with the French football mascot on from McDonald's. That's the only thing I can really remember from 1998. But 2002, I was in year 5. We got little tokens to go into school before school started to get a sausage sandwich or a bacon sandwich. watch it on the big projector in the hall. That's where I watched Ronaldinho lob David Seaman on purpose. I remember there was, like, I think it was half term when we played Argentina, and I used to do these like half term football courses when I wasn't such a fat bastard. I used to be quite an athletic man. And we did this. I used to go put on these, like, it was called Newcastle in the Community. These, like, football. They lasted 3 or 4 days in a half term. And I remember going on one of them for 3 or 4 days, and then watching the Argentina game in that same middle school it was back then. In the school. Just with these football coaches. Rashford's in there, Kane, you greedy bastard. The big hit from Aaron Ramsey. He has got his big boy panties on today. Aaron Ramsey. Old enough to remember Italia 90. Staggering. 2010 was James Corden with Dizzy Rascal. I hope that's not you naming what made the 2010 World Cup memorable. Ruined it. It is a little bit of whiskey. It's my friend Jack. There he is there. A little bit of Jack Daniels Tennessee, honey. No mixer, because I need to go shopping. And I got stuck in traffic on the way back from work, so couldn't get me shopping before then. If Wales win 4-0, will you down it? No, I will not. Under no circumstance will I down anything on this stream. Who's that a foul for? Oh dear. Dan James has just trodden on John Stones' foot. That'll be sore. God, it's another hard watch. Another hard watch for the England. Speaking of watching, how many people do we have watching us currently? 239. Thank you for all for joining us here. Oh, I keep saying us. I'm not used to having someone else there. I keep saying us. I'm on my own. I'm on me Todd. Thank you for joining me on this new YouTube channel. Give us a subscribe if you haven't already. Give the stream a like if you wouldn't mind. The best free way to support this bollocks. Twitch.tv/Cultaholic tomorrow at 3 PM to watch Hartlepool episode 2. I am with John Cena. I was tempted to bring home one of Adam's friends from their stream the other day, but I didn't want to walk in the building with a blown up doll. If you haven't seen the video, that's a very... Oh, Foden's in. No, he's not being forced out wide. If you haven't seen the stream, that's a very weird sentence in isolation, but it'll make sense if you saw it. Someone in the chat will fill you in. It's not as bad as it sounds. Maguire's on a Maisie again. He's in the box. Thriker. Out for a throw-in. Oh boy. It's going to be another long night, innit? It's going to be another long night. I think he has meant to cross that, hasn't he? Oh, Howie. Howie? I've never done a voiceover before one of these again. My voice isn't working anymore. Me mouth. Poor Howie. Will Henderson just get off the pitch? He's bloody awful. What was that? He had no one within 10 yards of him, and he's hooking it as if someone's up his arse. Tosser. Crap. Put him in the Connor Cody role. That's what I would do. He's there for morale and leadership and advice. And being a nice lad, but never affect anything on the football pitch. I just hope that Gareth is watching this game and seeing it's not working and he goes to change something at half-time. Immediately, I'm thinking Kane is too isolated up front on his own. Immediately, I'm thinking we need to get Henderson off. Who comes on, though? Maybe Mount. We don't need two more defensive-minded midfielders against Wales here. We don't need that. Then again, Mount's done bugger all in the World Cup, hasn't he? But this is Gareth, isn't he? He doesn't change. He's got his way of doing it, and he just sticks to that. Like, whatever he starts the game as, you'll never see him change formation. I think that's one of his, maybe his biggest weaknesses as a manager of the English. L'Angleterre. Maddison, yes. Maddison's back fit. That's the one. Get Maddison on. Total receptions between the midfield and defensive lines. Foden's had 10, Henderson's had 10. Rashford's had 7. Williams is down again. Is he still groggy after taking that massive hoof to the head? Who knows? What changes will you make at half-time? Let me know in the comments section. Have Wilson for Henderson and put Kane a bit deeper? Now. You want Kane up there to finish off the moves. Henderson is offering nothing. No, Henderson's offering nothing. I'm going to stop drinking. Get Defoe on. That's a good sound bit of tactical play there. Get Jermaine Defoe on. What's your thoughts on Tomori not being in the squad? Reckon he could have been a big impact. He should be playing. He should be in the first 11, I think. Although no, maybe not the first 11 because that's harsh to say when Maguire's playing so well. But he should be in the squad at the very least. I don't know what more you have to do than win Serie A to get in the England squad. I don't know if I'd bother with Trent. Not at the moment. Serbia's got a chance against Switzerland for sure. Maguire and Pickford play different in the 3 lines. I agree with that. Because I was fully in the camp of you can't take. Like, you should have probably taken Maguire, but you can't start him. Not played anywhere near enough this season, if that's how Gareth... That's what Gareth said, didn't he? Is he getting taken off, Nico Williams? Yeah, he's getting taken off. Get yourself ready, Reese. Fantasy football bench member for me, that. Although, I think they're making wholesale changes we are for our fantasy football team after the World Cup. Pickford's had a good season in general. He seems to make a lot less mistakes for Everton. But again, he hasn't put a foot wrong for England. I thought it was going to be very interesting if Pope didn't crap the bed against... Jesus, not Italy. Who was the last friendly against? Mine's gone blank. I thought if Nick Pope had a good game in that last friendly, it would have been very interesting to see what Southgate did. Germany, yeah, that was the one. Pope did quite well against Italy, I thought, in what he had to do, which wasn't too much, but he definitely crapped the bed against Germany. He's been so good for Newcastle. Ridiculous. I didn't think Dubravka was that bad. I didn't think the difference between Pope and Dubravka was worth doing the business. But it really is. Pope's 10 times the keeper Dubravka is. Just keeps everyone calm, doesn't he? Everything seems quite easy for him. Very few mistakes. Here we go then, Phil. Lovely from Bellingham. Bellingham in the box. Flick again. Foden. Oh. Shank. We're shanking everything. A nice move from England, though. The second nice move of the game. Oh, that's disappointing. If it's on target, though, I think that defender blocks it, doesn't he? We're getting there, though. We're building up slowly. What do I think of Germany so far? I think their kit's lovely. Other than that, I don't really know. They've been a bit funny, haven't they? USA 1-0. Let me just double check who scored there. We really have Twitter open for the live scores. Blocked by Rice, and now Rashford's got room to move into. Here we go, Marcus Rashford. Run. Keep running. He's passed one. Oh, he's dropped it off. Rice, sideways. Henderson, sideways. That's fine, though. Foden's got it now. Take him on. Oh, he's lost it. Henderson in. Rashford! Ooh! Got a bit too excited there for a crappy shot. Pulisic has scored. He's a phenom. I hope everyone's seen that thing on... what the hell's that show called? Porn, whatever it is. Not The Porn. Porn Brokers. Whatever the hell it's called. Two lads in America's got this signed Pulisic shirt. Porn stars. PAWN stars. And they are putting Pulisic up there with Messi and Ronaldo. They're calling him a phenom. Even though, you know, just based on what he's done for Chelsea, bang average, isn't he? Bang average. Well in Henderson. And again. There we are, Jordan. Bellingham. Right. Oh, here we go, Foden. He's off. He's still going. Out wide to Rashford. Rashford in the box. It's out for a corner. We're getting there, though. We're going up through the gears. He is the LeBron James of soccer. Exactly. That's Christian Pulisic. Who is the LeBron James of soccer for people who know the basketball and the soccer? I know who LeBron is, but I don't know much about LeBron to say who the football equivalent is. List some characteristics of LeBron, and I'll try and give you the actual LeBron James of the soccer. Soccer. Corner for England. Got half the people say Ronaldo is the LeBron. Half the people say Messi. Bellingham skipped away. He's put through Oh, that's Rashford. I beg my pardon. The camera's far away. But I am liking the look of what Rashford and Foden are doing so far. Rashford more so than Foden. Was that a no-look pass by Jordan Henderson? I feel sick. Certain players just shouldn't do that. And Jordan Henderson's one of them. Bald and overrated. Is that what LeBron is? Old, still good and whiny. Well, that's Ronaldo. Very good, but pissed off his hometown team to win a championship. Very good, but pissed off the hometown team to win a championship. I'm trying to think of a Cockney who maybe played for Man United. Or a Cockney who played for Man City recently. Messi's more like Kobe, apparently. Very interesting. Yeah, I think by what we're getting there, Ronaldo is definitely the LeBron James of soccer. And not the phenom, Christian Pulisic. The phenom! Group B standings currently, England, top of the group, +4 goal difference, 5 points. USA, 5 points, but +1 goal difference. Iran, 3 points, and Wales at the bottom with 2. Wah, 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 wah. Foden at the back stick. Can't do anything with it. That was impossible, that. But look at Harry Maguire with the sprinklers on. This is what it's come to, lads. Lasses, everyone else. Harry Maguire with the sprinklers. Doing what Jordan Henderson maybe should be doing. Or maybe Declan Rice should be doing. Kiefer Moore's done now. Gareth Bale's done now. Ramsey's put a few tackles in. It's been another, what they would call in the trade, a damp squib. Free kick for Harry Kane there. I thought he kicked him in the shin there, little Daniel James. Kane kicking James, that is. But it looked a bit naughty when the ball had gone. Naughty, naughty. Bald and overrated equals Stephen Ireland. Stephen Ireland is the LeBron James of soccer. You heard that here first. I remember being buzzing when he signed for Newcastle on loan. But he turned out to be nothing. He was nothing. Bellingham in the box. Shaw at the edge. Kane blocked. Oh, Shaw get out the way. Rashford's in there. Bellingham has it. Step over. Striker. No. Corner. Corner ball to England. Foden to take. One arm in the air. It's an out swinger. He swings it out. The slab is up. The slab gets nowhere near it. It's another tough watch. I'm not having fun. I'm having fun with everyone watching, but just in terms of watching the soccer solely, I'm not having fun. Get Trashford off the field. He's been one of the better players. Looking lively's Marcus. Looking very lively indeed. Bets on the injury time, I reckon 4. It's 5. I do like this extra added time, just because Luigi Cleaner isn't happy with how much the ball goes out for a throw-in and stuff. Been a welcome addition. I was thinking that as well, Marty Snoozman, watching Suarez yesterday. Marty Snoozman reckons, hate to say it, but Bale shouldn't play a full game for Wales. He doesn't have it like he used to. I was thinking that about Suarez yesterday. Maybe it was one World Cup too far. Suarez is a free agent. I was about to say I would take him at Newcastle, but I wouldn't. He's past it. Time has caught up with the man, as it does with us all. I mean, it caught up with me when I was 17. It's all been downhill from there. Do you think this will be Gareth's last World Cup with England go out early? I think even if he wins it, I think he'll step down. And I think if he doesn't win it, it should be given to somebody else to do. But as I'm sat here now, I honestly couldn't tell you who that should be. The obvious answer is Eddie Howe, but I don't want him to leave Newcastle because he's doing a very good job there. But who knows? You have a Graham Potter might get out of a job soon if Chelsea don't get a good start. Although Big Todd, they reckon he's more in it for the project than Abramovich ever was, so maybe he'll stay. Sean Dyche. I would love it if Sean Dyche did. I'm a big fan of Sean Dyche. I used to have a t-shirt at uni because he was a bit of a cult hero in my house. My house of 7 men at uni. And I had a t-shirt that had just a ginger goatee with the words Ginger Mourinho on it. I even bought a Burnley shirt. That's how far on board I was. Back in the day when you get it, I wish I kept it now. It was lovely, like Adidas. It was in 1997, I think. Burnley shirt. I got it for like 15 quid off classic football shirts back then. Before every Tom, Dick and Harry started collecting football shirts and put the prices up for all of them. Ross, I'm American and know nothing about football, but the info you say on the podcast is enough to scrape by a convo with my Brit friends when they talk about the World Cup, so thank you. No problem. It's become one of my favourite things of putting the mailbag together on our podcast. Just the obscure footballers that have just become a thing. Oh! No, it's caught by Ward on the line. That's as close as, well, maybe the second closest we've come so far. Ratchford's one-on-one should maybe have gone in. Yeah, putting that mailbag together for the podcast, people just calling themselves obscure footballers organically become a thing. I'm trying to think of the most obscure one, but I've probably forgotten because it is that obscure of a name. Who's down now? These Welsh lads are soft as out, aren't they? Ampadu is the one down. He's up for a header. What's he done there? Just headed Stones' cheek. Fair enough. Are there any other teams you dislike other than Sunderland? I dislike Liverpool. I wouldn't say dislike. I just don't like their fans. They think the world revolves around them. I just can't get on board with it. Carragher's a fantastic... I know he's an Everton fan, but you notice how every single time he brings up a point about anything when he's doing punditry, he always somehow relates it back to Liverpool, and I think that's very much the Scouser way. Nah, I used to live with a Liverpool fan. He had a Scouse passport. He's a lovely fella, but he had a Scouse passport. That tells you everything you need to know. He had a passport cover because he was Scouse, not English. Alan! Woof! Riker! Over the bar. That should just about be it for the first half. James Orford, I don't like you just because you're a Liverpool fan. So yeah, you go sulk. You go and sulk. I have an inexplicable dislike for Aston Villa. Interesting. I don't care about Villa. They've become a bit of a rival to Newcastle, apparently on Twitter, because they seem to copy a lot of things Newcastle go for, like the signing of players, going for Emery as their manager. Newcastle, of course, went for him first before Eddie Howe. Villa fans seem delusional. I don't know. A lot of people say that about Newcastle fans, but it's not. Oh, the expectation of Newcastle fans. Not expectation. You just want to try. Just want to see a football club try to progress. That's all it comes down to. There we go. Another boring half of England football. Let me know what you thought in the comments box down there. If you haven't already, please give the stream a like. Like Spike and all that good stuff. Oh, the thing's gone. Hang on. You're seeing how I've done it now. Not that one. Ah! Awful and boring half. No creativity. Yep, I agree. Henderson off for Maddison. I think we can do with Rice being the only sort of holding midfielder in the middle there. I think Maddison coming on, finding space would be a way to get the better of the Welsh. I think someone closer to Harry Kane as well. Second goal for the USA disallowed. Very interesting. 5 people in the studio is very unnecessary. I would agree. I would agree. Right, it must be very frustrating doing this sort of work at half-time. Because there's little you can say about a game, isn't there, when you think about it? And I have 5 people in there, all giving their perspective. They're all going to say the same thing, aren't they? First come, first serve kind of thing. What did I hear about Senegal earlier, defensively? Have they conceded, like, no or 1 goal so far in the World Cup, apart from today? Or yesterday, whatever day it was. Howdy, Kenneth and Trudy Dog. Howdy indeed. What changes would you make? Gareth's not going to do any, because he just doesn't do it, does he? He has to wait until the last minute to do them. Even though it's obvious to me, at least, that we need someone closer to Kane. My God, that's gotta be Kane. This game has been more boring than a West Brom match. That is a massive statement considering Stephen Bruce has been your manager this season. Why do we need Henderson and Rice playing against Wales when they're just sitting back and doing nothing? Gareth will say game management, or whatever bollocks he came out with after the USA game for bringing Henderson on. There's no need to have both of them on, I agree. Maddison and Wilson on. Definitely Maddison. I just think we need... This is going to sound awfully basic, but I wouldn't mind going 4-4-2. The way Wales are pressing sometimes, they end up 4-4-2 with Ramsey and Kiefer Moore up front. So why can't we just go 4-4-2? Come 4-3-3, come Tuesday. You know what I mean, though? Maybe with the ball we have 4-3-3, without the ball we're 4-4-2, something like that. Something a bit flexible. I just think Kane needs someone closer to him. I should have got in from Rashford, that, like. Bit of a Boubacar action. That scoopy goal he scored. 4-4-F and 2 indeed. Bassett wouldn't be settling for this. Bassett would be throwing chairs around that dressing room, trying to get that team to wake up. That's the thing with Gareth as well. I can't ever imagine him raising his voice. I just imagine him standing there right now going like, now gentlemen, we are playing very well today, but we could do with playing a little bit better. I hope that's okay with you. Could you imagine getting like a rousing speech out of Gareth Southgate? Because I can't. He's Steve Bruce in a waistcoat. He's not that bad. He's not that bad. We can't have that. Bruce doesn't even count as a football manager as far as I'm concerned. No way, Jose. We need Eddie Howe. Southgate killed Middles better. Up the better. I've never really heard why people say they went down. It seems bad recruitment back then when they went down for Newcastle back in the day. The Alfonso Alvezes of the world. Sorry, the Afonso Alves, wasn't it? Middles better, killed Middles better. Up the better. What are we analysing here? Harry Maguire's got the ball. Harry Kane is a long way away. Why are we expecting Harry Maguire to pass the ball like he's prime Xavi Alonso? Why is that a conversation they're having? I mean, I haven't got the volume up too loud, so they might be saying something completely different. But just by the pictures they're drawing on the screen there, the BBC lads, it feels like they're saying Harry Maguire should be prime Xavi Alonso. Kane is getting marked out of the game, though. Should we just sack these two teams off and let Iran and the USA through? Hashtag boring. I was just about to say, well, Iran would automatically lose whoever they were against, but they beat Wales, didn't they? So I'm being unfair there. Massively unfair. Did you know Alonso is now the coach of Bayer Leverkusen? Yes, I did. That is a bad one right off the top of the head. That was the thing when you were playing football when you were a kid, wasn't it? Don't ever hit the ball there. That's the soft part of your head. It doesn't harden up until you're an adult. Is that true? I've got no idea. England have dominated the game. Wales have offered nothing. They've dominated possession, but they've not really done anything with it, have they? It's been a crap game. It's been a really bad game. Changes need to be made, but will Gareth make them? I don't think he will. That glass of whiskey is lasting forever. This is the second one I've poured. There you go. There's the dent I've made in the bottle. Shut up. Won't do anything until 70 minutes at least. I agree with that. Wales have had 197 touches in the first half. That's about 196 more than I thought they would have had. This is the same game as most Southgate games, slow in transition, scared to take any risks. I agree there. It's calling out for someone like Mount or Maddison to come on, just to get someone closer to Kane. I'd love to see Wilson come on and just play 4-4-F and 2. But we can't do that, can we? That's not fashionable anymore. You'll get called a Neanderthal for doing something like that. Even though, as I say, Wales, when they're out of possession, they are going 4-4-2 with Aaron Ramsey pushing up. I guess it's more 4-3-3. I don't know. But I do know. I'm watching the game. Still not used to seeing Didier Drogba with no hair. Those seats look comfy, though. Imagine going to a football game and sitting in an armchair in the stadium. Got to get a better manager than Southgate. He won't make any changes at half-time. I know he won't make any changes. He'll wait until the 70th minute and then bring on Calvin Phillips for Jordan Henderson. And that'll be his moment of genius. Paul the Octopus. Anyone a fan of Teo the Otter from this year's World Cup? Correctly predicting that Japan would beat Germany. Get Jill Scott on. Bamboozle Wales with the candlesticks. If only you had the bollocks. All the expertise, for that matter, to know of the candlesticks already. What's Claudia Winkleman doing here with a cape on? People are crying. What is going on here? She's just changing it with a Wales kit as well. The half and half advert, everybody. It's a world first. England are like a luxury car with no steering wheel under Southgate. Very interesting. No, we're looking at the USA-Iran highlights now on the BBC. I am on iPlayer just in case you've joined the stream late. That's why I'm so far behind. Header by the Phenom. Saved, because he's not a Phenom. Nor is he the LeBron James of soccer. Stephen Ireland is the LeBron James of soccer, as we've learned. Sargent. Where? Save. Putting that TV license to good use? You're damn right I pay me TV license. I watch live sports fairly frequently in this flat. Every day, I'd probably say. Not every day, that's impossible. Whenever it's on, it's on. Phenom. It's a nice goal from America. A nice move. As he hurt his tally whacker. There was a naked fella with a mullet there, I swear. You just get booted up the arse. Oh no! Gone straight to the Iranian keeper's groin. Very interesting. There's the group. We're top with 5 points. USA have 5 points. Iran have 3. Wales on 2. Wales are going home. England just get a goal. That'd be nice, wouldn't it? I think Southgate is quite handsome, says Sam Osborne. Each to their own. There's someone out there for everyone, as they say. As they say, whoever they are. How many people have got watching currently? 260, 259. Someone just tuned out. Judas didn't like them anyway. Thank you all for watching. Give the channel a subscribe if you haven't already. There'll be more content hopefully coming soon. Hopefully. Like Spike indeed. If you haven't liked the stream, like the stream. It's the best free way to support this. Excuse me. It was a bit of a nothing half that, low key. Sub Spike, big time. Dom Spike as well. All the spikes. It's bad to say, but the USA have been better than England. I don't know. I don't know about that. They were better than England in that game that we played against the USA. I'll give you that. But then again, no, they should have won. They did have a couple of clear chances, didn't they? Gareth Bale coming off. Bale off. God, you're all ahead of me, you bastards. To be fair, Bale and... Well, Ramsey was putting his tackles in, but Bale did bugger all in that first half. But that is a massive call from the Welsh manager, because Bale, if they got a free kick 25 yards out, how many times has Bale just popped one in? I mean, I don't watch all the Wales games, but I imagine he has quite a few Wales games, you know, in the last couple of years where he does nothing, and then he gets one chance at the end of the game, and he just puts it in, because he's Gareth Bale. And class is permanent. Who's come on for him? Bale's off to the golf course. Retirement for Bale. Good old Robert A4 Page. Brennan Johnson. That'll be a bit more dangerous for England. He's a decent player, is Brennan Johnson. He's more... Well, I guess they were playing Bale out wide, weren't they? So I was about to say he's more of a winger. They should go 4-4-2 as well. Just have Kiefer Moore and Gareth Bale up front. Dream partnership. Bale must be injured for him to do that. They've got to win this game. That's a sackable offence, I reckon, from any Welsh fans. Taking Bale off in a situation like this. No subs, of course, for England. Confirmed there in the chat by L Tricks. The game has been What's the point? We're only playing Wales and we still can't get it right. How can you watch that first half and not think, ooh, it's been quite dull. Ooh, Harry Kane's a bit isolated up there. Ooh, we should get somebody closer. Let's make a couple of changes. Why am I sat here saying that, but Gareth Southgate isn't? The score is back. Here we go. That's where I am in the game. Jermaine Jenis and Danny Gabardon are your commentators, if you're watching on the BBC. With Guy Mowbray. A nice man. I talked to him for about 20 seconds, maybe. He doesn't look injured, does Gareth Bale. Because at the old place, we got a Premier League accreditation for one season. So I went down to Manchester City, away, in the press box, with journalist accreditation, right? Mixing it with all the big dogs I was. And Guy Mowbray is the one sort of person I spoke to, so I was too scared to approach anybody else. That was only because he was walking in afterwards, and I was like, I'll get the door for you, Guy. I'll hold it open for you. Brennan Johnson is quality. He should have started every game. If England did win the World Cup, would having it in Qatar put a shadow on it? Very interesting question. It is odd at this time of year to be having a World Cup and everything that surrounds the human rights issues and the deaths that happened, however many there was. Official, unofficial, what the truth is, I don't think anybody knows, do they? For sure. I mean, I'm sure somebody knows for sure. I don't know. To be honest, if England won it, I wouldn't... It's a World Cup win, isn't it? You know, you can't really... Fans don't have a choice in where World Cups are played, do they? You just got to play them where they're played. This one should never have been here, though. They had one stadium when that World Cup was awarded to them. When they bought that World Cup. Let's just call a spade a spade. When they bribed their way to that World Cup. Am I going too far? I don't know. But they only had one stadium. First World Cup I can legally drink, and it's in the winter. You love it. Now, let me tell you, I went out to the pub for the first two games of this World Cup, and I love a winter pint, a nice winter Szechuan, a Stefan Sessignon. And having the football, the World Cup on, just added to the Stefan Sessignons. Quite enjoyed it. But I agree, there's no better feel, is there, in the beer garden at summer? Those late summer nights, watching the soccer, going home crying. Phil Foden, tackled, free kick. I'm not looking at the chat. I'm not looking at the chat. Because this is in a very dangerous position. 20 yards out, is it? Oh, it's a definite foul. You see Phil Foden making a difference. Being dynamic, attacking. Mason Mount wouldn't do that. Mason Mount would do some sort of fancy pirouette on the ball and pass it sideways. Useless man. He's not useless. Man out of form. Why has Jordan Henderson just put that ball down? That's it. Walk away from that ball. This would have been perfect for Kieran Trippier, but he's on the bench. Rashford looks like he's lining up. Luke Shaw is in the vicinity. That's not a left footer's that. That's a right footer's all day long. Rashford stepping back. Will it fly in? Please fly in, for Christ's sake. Will be a lovely start of the second half. Rashford. Oh! I know I'm half an hour late. Hey, bloody hell. Well, I'm feeling like a Bertie Big Bollocks right now. Who was sitting there on YouTube yesterday saying, well, Southgate should pick Rashford? Ross was. I should be England manager. Ross Tweddell, England manager. It's 1-0 England. Marcus Rashford. Thrijkert. Goalkeeper side, though. Ward looks devastated, as you should do. But like a traction engine indeed. Robert Page is in the mud. Marcus Rashford scribbled all over him. He's a dirty page. However, BBC shows a replay. It's been about 7 minutes. He's on his knees praying to the Sir Bobby Robson in the sky. That's a lovely goal. Oh, it's a little step, isn't it? The goalkeeper before he takes it. Oh, dear, dear, dear. That's a mistake from the keeper, innit, when you're at that level. You can't be getting beat on your side like that. But I don't care. 1-0 to the England. I've got a horrible feeling there's been a second goal because there's people in the saying, don't look at the chat again. I'll take it, though. I hope there has been a second goal. Here we go, then. Kane's got it. Across the box. Foden! Here we go. Who else is feeling that Bertie Big Bollocks right now? Who else was on the YouTube yesterday saying Phil Foden needs to play? Not on the left, I was saying central, but still he's on the pitch. Ross Tweddell, England manager. Why doubt Gareth Southgate, eh? Why doubt Sir Garth, though? He's made no changes. And we've scored twice at the start of the second half. Beautiful. Wales are done. Stick a fork in them. Fork them over and over again. Let's get 5. It's a hit and hope from Kane, though, you got to say. That's where he should be, really. But thank God Foden was there on the backup. The back stick run. I guess it's that thing that was sick, because I remember the bit of the analysis for Sterling's goal against Qatar, because he didn't put his head up then either. Ian Wright was just like, was it Ian Wright or Shearer that was just like, you know that ball needs to be there because you're a centre forward. And that's where you want that ball to be. Ding dong. Shut up, Tom. You're going to do this thing you do on Adam's streams. I say your game. Unless there has actually been a third goal. Yeah, people are saying that. 2-0 to the England. Should be home and hosed. But why not? Let's get more. Let's build some confidence up. Now if Gareth wants to go to his 3-5-2 that he will undoubtedly use, maybe not against... Oh, dinged. Harry Kane wearing white fronts. Very interesting. Can they put that on before the watershed? A little bit of upper thigh. What's happened here? Jordan Henderson's just stopped. Kiefer Moore might be in. The Kaiser, Harry Maguire's there to sweep up. Do not worry about everybody. Harry Maguire's on the scene. Foden looks like a member of the BBCC. What the hell's the BBCC? Thanks for your call, Tom. Been a pleasure to talk to you. Speak to you next time. Or whatever they say on the radio. An arm of the BNP. That's a... What's happening? Why is this turned into this? Harry Maguire always turns into Paolo Maldini in England shirt. He is good. Oh, Kiefer Moore nearly got that one, but he didn't, and that's all that matters. How many people are watching? 259 currently, 257. People are dropping out because of the BNP mention. I'll stop mentioning the BNP. BNBN. BNBN. I'm singing about biscuits. I wasn't going to finish it off with a P. Let's just move on. Wales have nearly scored there. I'm making a right mess here. Jordan Pickford and his little arms diving to try and save the ball. Wilson's coming on. More chats from the future. I wish iPlayer was more up to speed than it is, but what can you do, eh? What can you do? How good would you be if you're a Wales fan? The amount of money you've had to spend, not only just to get out there, but also to live out there, have a good time out there. Average price of Kiefer Moore, saved by Pickford. Bit of a deflection there. They're coming back into it though, the Wales. I reckon Maguire meant that as a back pass. Bit of a flick header backwards towards Pickford. Dan James putting the ball down now for a corner. Kiefer Moore is a danger from this little situation, isn't he? He's a big man. A huge man. Dan James is in. Maguire's out. Offside anyway. Let's recuperate. I tell you, I was a bit worried there. The second goal awoke the dragon. What are we on now? 56 minutes for me as we're watching this. We're getting Wilson on. We're getting Phillips on. We're getting Trent on. Ding dong. I wonder why he's bringing Trent on. Because he clearly doesn't fancy him. And he clearly won't use him in the latter rounds. And he said he wasn't going to hand caps out. So what is this then, Gareth? Do you fancy Trent? Was Trippier that bad against the USA that you might have changed your mind on Trent? I don't know. What do you think in the chat? Bringing him on just to save Walker? But when you bring on Trippier? Gareth does contradict himself. Walker did okay. Walker did okay. Considering that's his first match back, actually, that's a good display. Harry Kane's off. Give him a rest. He's not looked like as sluggish as he did against America, but he still doesn't look right, does he? But he's been too far adrift from the rest of his teammates, hasn't he? To really sort of judge him fairly. And then it's Declan Rice off. Calvin Phillips on. Jordan Henderson stays on. The catalyst. The talisman. Trippier's there. Ben Davies is down. What was that thing? Do you remember that thing a few pre-seasons ago with that that lady on the pre-season tour for Spurs was like, "Can I call you Daddy Davis?" Remember that? That must feel weird to have a stranger say that to you. Would you mind if I called you Daddy Tweddell? Yes, I would. You pervert. A lovely finish from Phil. Just seen a replay now of the second goal. Still no Maddison, don't understand it. I can only assume he's not fully fit. Then again, Harry Kane isn't fully fit, clearly. The keeper's going to be devastated with that free kick, though. Who the hell is this coming on for Wales? Ben Davies is off. Daddy Davis is off. Don't know who that is. Morel. Beats me. Let's just type in Morel Wales and see what comes up. Double. Joe Morel, born in 1997. Place of birth, Ipswich. Traitor. Centre midfielder for Portsmouth. Can anyone tell me how many games he's played for Portsmouth? And you'll win a prize. Honestly, don't Google it. He scored no goals. We've got a 3 in the chat. We've got the second 3. We've got a 1. We've got a 6. Higher. 4. Higher. 56 lower. 3 games. 4 higher. Higher. 24 higher. 7 higher. The answer's 43. No one was getting close. That's the end of the game. No one wins a prize. I had a signed Marcus Rashford shirt to give away. It's just off the camera there. Unlucky to you all. Unlucky. Started his career at Bristol City, then went to Sutton United on loan, Margate on loan, Cheltenham on loan, Lincoln City on loan, spent a year at Luton, and now he plays for Portsmouth. 31 caps for Wales. Wow. He made his debut in 2019 for Wales when he would have been on loan at Lincoln. Staggering. Oh, Jordan being hacked down. Is that Ramsey? He's done a few of them. Cheeky man. He thinks he's the real Slim Shady with that bloody hairpiece, doesn't he? Looks like a knobhead, doesn't he? A knobhead. How old is he now? He must be over 30. Aaron Ramsey, 31. Nearly 32, and he's got that hairpiece. Grow up, Aaron. Oh, that's a sore one. Right on the ankle. Dirty bastard. That's at least the third little nibble he's had in an England player. I mean, that's more than a nibble. That's a chomp. That's a massive chomp. I reckon you'd suit that hair, Ross. Not a chance. What would I look like with that hair? Jesus. Not Jesus. Ross, grow your hair. Do you not see lockdown? I think I've still got the picture on my phone, actually, of me lockdown hair. I look like a young Jeremy Clarkson. This is pre-beard as well, by the way. Might as well look now. Jordan's still down. Where is it? There it is there. I look like a young Jeremy Clarkson. Look at the state of that. That is why I won't grow my hair out. I resorted to an Alice band during those times. Alice band hairspray. Kevin Keegan, I'll take it. It's more Jeremy Clarkson, though. Early 1990s Jeremy Clarkson. The most tragic haircut in the world. Stones now plays it long. Wilson's up. Rodon is hurt. League One's Morel passes the ball backwards. How has he got 31 caps for Wales? No disrespect. I mean, there's some intended, I imagine, but, you know. No legitimate disrespect. Aaron Ramsey's played 12 games for Nice so far. Joined them in the summer. After his tragic bit of Europa League final football for Rangers. Do you think Trent would be a better right midfield? I don't know, because you don't get those sort of... I'm going to go there. You don't get those sort of David Beckham-esque wingers anymore, do you? Everyone out there is tricky and skilled. Well, not saying that Trent isn't tricky, but you know what I mean? Sort of like your Hazards of... I know Hazard's a bad example to use this day and age. That was funny in that press conference. There's a journalist who was sort of pointing at the fact that Eden Hazard might have put on a bit of weight. And after offending the man, you know, he's still a professional athlete, isn't he? And he's saying, oh, you look a bit fat there, basically. He asked for a selfie. Eden Hazard was like, no. Get to, you know what? Boo that man, Gianni Infantino, whatever the hell his name is. Knobhead. Did we ever find out how that Morel is actually Welsh? Wikipedia will tell you, will it? International career. He qualifies for Wales through his Welsh mother called Sian. Oh, we're going Trippier at left back. I shouldn't care, the game's won, but you know. I guess we might as well rest Luke Shaw while we can. He's got no left foot. He's not very quick. Kieran Trippier is at left back for England. Scholes used to be a striker. People can and do switch positions. I know they do, but I think if I was going to change a position for Trent, I would put him. I would be more inclined to hold him like a PLO role, me. Just because I see you don't get wingers like the one he would be. He's not blessed with blistering pace, is he? And he's not a sort of a jinky dribbler. I guess he could be a jinky dribbler. We don't know, do we? He doesn't look like one, though, does he? Diego Forlan used to be a defender. I would put... If I was changing position for Trent, and I don't think he's a lost cause at right back, but I do see where the criticism comes from. I would be more tempted to go centre midfield. Gareth did that one game, didn't he? A couple of years ago. And it didn't work. I don't know if... I can't remember. I remember it being at Wembley, whatever game it was, when Trent was played midfield. Mepham is carrying the ball forward for the Welsh. 66 minutes and 36 seconds gone. Morel. League One's Morel. Mepham. Throw into the England. Someone is blaring their horn outside. I don't know if you can hear that. There must have been a crash. I do like it when there's a crash outside the flat. We had a Bobby Dazzler a few months ago. That made me sound really weird, didn't it? No one was hurt. The car was written off. It went through the metal fence. I'll stop talking about crashes. Back to Pickford. Just seen a comment saying that Danny Ward is dreadful. I assume it's now 3-0. I've just had that ruined for myself. Phillips over the top. Rashford. This is where Tweddell wanted Rashford. Pace in behind. Cuts back. Step over. Rashford. Through the goalkeeper. 3-0 to the England. You bastards. You bastards in the chat. Thank you for joining me anyway. Danny Ward, I was saying earlier, you think he's crap just because of how he is on fantasy football, but he's not crap because it turns out he's had the same amount of clean sheets in the league as Edison, but made about 40 more saves. It turns out that Danny Ward is crap. Up the crap, Danny Ward. Up the England. And up the Marcus Rashford. This is what I was saying in that video yesterday that's live on the Hold and Give YouTube channel. The space in behind. The pace of Rashford. The finishing of Rashford. Cutting back. Step over. Striker. It's a good strike. No direction though, but it's still gone in. That's what I want to see from Rashford. Get the likes in. Like Spike for the third goal. Like Spike for Danny Ward. He's got nothing else going for him, despite being a professional athlete, millionaire probably. Oh, and I'm sat here in my bedroom. Ross, you're about 30 seconds ahead of my BBC. Bloody hell. I seem to be about 2 minutes behind everybody else watching. There is my live time and score if you want to watch along and sync with me, pause your stream and catch up. Hello, Chris Locke. You should try and sign League One's Morel for Hartlepool. I mean, I need some money first. I did just sell someone at the end of the last stream. It was a 33-year-old and I've forgotten his name. Terrible of me. But again, he's left the football club, so he's dead to me. He was 33 years old and couldn't even get in the squad. And I sold him for 250 grand. And I don't need a central midfielder. I strengthened there with a lad from Romania. His name begins with a C. Kiefer Moore has it, but he's marked out the game by Harry Maguire. Of course he is. That's just lazy as balls from Trent, that. He just hoofed the ball forward. He had 10 yards of space in front of him. Take it forward. Play it properly. Oh, Trippier's been beaten again. He's not having a good World Cup at all, is he? This isn't Newcastle's Trippier. This is final season Spurs Trippier, from what I've heard. Jason Denier Mayonnaise at the back as well. I've got a footballer whose his name isn't Mayonnaise, but it might as well be. It's a close enough spelling. He's called Mayonnaise. And yeah, I signed Jason Denier for Hartlepool in League 2 on a free transfer in the summer transfer window of 2022. It's a statement signing. Harry Maldini for the Ballon d'Or? Why the hell not? Well, I'll tell you why. Never placed Man United. That's probably why. Aye, we're cruising here. 20 minutes left, 19 minutes left. Plus about half an hour stoppage time. And then we'll be home and hosed. 263 people watching. Thank you all for joining me here this evening. Wilson's got the ball. Rashford's not made the right run there, has he? No, he has. Saved by Ward. It's going to snow tonight. Danny Ward has made a save. Unselfish play game from Wilson, who doesn't appear to want to score at this World Cup. It's 1:33 AM where I am now in Pakistan. Oh, bloody hell. Thank you for joining me from Pakistan. Yeah, if you haven't already, give the Hold and Give channel a subscribe if you like the football. Or if you like me. There's a couple of videos on there already. There's a Hartlepool career mode sort of Twitch highlights package. More content to come later this week. It's all in my spare time at the moment. Nothing's changing with Cultaholic. Bit of a passion project. Passion project. Passion. Put-a. So-huh. But no. Giving it away again if Wales are. Metna's got away with it then. Foden stayed down. Interesting. Foden stayed down. Brennan Johnson on the attack. In the box. Blocked by Trippier. Throw into the Welsh. Foden's still down. Oh, he's up. He's hobbling. Just take him off, Garth. Take him off. Not worth it. Not worth the risk. Now, what happened there? Just sort of slipped over, didn't he? Obviously, the Hold and Give channel will become dedicated to the mighty Norwich. You heard it here first. No, it will not. Norwich are irrelevant. For me, and I know they've had European football in the 90s. I know they had halcyon days with Gary Megson, Chris Sutton. But for me, who was born in 1992, I know I look 45, but I was born in 1992. They have largely been in the similar brackets of the likes of Wigan, in that they are just nothing. They are merely a football club that exists. Delia Smith was the most relevant thing about them. That's the thing. When you're remembered mostly for Premier League history, just for your chairman getting pissed and at half time just going, let's be having you. Tells you all you need to know. Harsh but fair there from Tweddell. Harsh but fair. To be fair, Newcastle were going that way during the Mike Ashley era. Just existed merely to exist. Is Delia Smith still there? I don't know why I care. I think it's still that's it. Her and that fella, that old fella. Newcastle are still that way now, to be fair. We're third in the bloody league. Rashford off, Grealish on. Nice change to be making with 74 minutes and 54 seconds played. Stephen Fry. No, there was an old fella, like a really old-looking fella. That always used to sit next to Delia. How would I compare Lisandro Martinez to Harry Maguire? It's a hard one, isn't it? They're two completely different brands of centre-half, aren't they? One's big and lumbering. The other one is small and tenacious. Just seen in the chat there, it's nearly 4. Might have to try and set up in the living room next time, just so I can watch it on Sky. Even though I'm big news from the flat, I am getting rid of Sky. Too much money. Too much money. Can't justify paying that much money. Thoughts on the US-Iran game? Not got a clue. I've been watching England. Would I take Maguire at Newcastle? Nah. Am I going to create a little set for the channel? Oh! Another save by... Oh! How's that not gone in? More unselfish play from Callum Wilson. England somehow do not score. It's a good save from Ward, to be fair. And Foden just can't wrap his foot around it. No, I won't be building a set for the channel. I don't think so, anyway. Not in the immediate future, anyway. Just tell your friends, alright? Just tell your friends to start watching. More views it gets, more subs it gets, more likely that sort of stuff becomes. That's how it works. Nile Ranger is pretty decent on Football Manager. Not interested. Although I did meet him once, and it was nice. He was nice. It was nice. He was nice. I once won a competition. This is how sad this was. I was a season ticket holder at Newcastle. This would have been the summer of 2012. And I entered a competition to, attend the squad photo shoot for the season. You know, the team gets the squad photo done at the training ground. And me and my pal Lee went, because I won the competition. And I was sat there having me croissant in the morning. Newcastle squad just sort of sat over in the distance there, having their breakfast like they normally would before training. And Niall Ranger was there with his, I think it was either his lawyer, I'm not making this up, either his lawyer or his parole officer, someone with a legal background who was doing something with him because he'd done something else. But he was one of the few that like actually came over and said like, hello, what you doing here, that sort of stuff. Not in an aggressive way. He's a nice guy. Ross, would you ever stream Footy Manager? Nah, you got Jack and Owen for that. Up the Fabes every Wednesday night on Twitch. But tomorrow at 3 p.m. GMT, you can see me stream FIFA as I take the polls, hopefully up a league. Well, not up a league. We'll try and get 5 games in, maybe, over the 2.5 hours. Up the polls. Who do I prefer, Sammy or Shola? It's got to be Shola. I think Sammy was the more technically gifted footballer. But the fact that somehow Shola wrangled 12-year career? 13, 14-year career at Newcastle? With how crap he was. Is fantastic. And he popped it with the odd goal against the Magnums, which always helps. Fantastic penalty taker. A beautiful human being. I'll have to see if I've got this picture. It's like I'm showing me photo albums now. Went to Hull away. I hope I made it my profile picture. Went to Hull away. There he is. Hull away 20... Well, the game when Pardew nutted Mailer. There he is. There's a young Ross. With Shola Amiobi in the background. Delightful. We were just walking around the stadium because, like, the away end at Hull, you had to walk around the entire stadium to get to Hull City Centre, whatever, town centre. The bit where the Weatherspoons is. And we saw the players were getting on the bus, so we're like, oh, we'll wait here and see who we can get a picture with. And Shola was one of the ones that did. I do have Shola artwork. You can look at my Jeffrey Dahmer video on Instagram, where I got a bit drunk at a wedding and then came home. If you want to see my Shola Amiobi artwork, I'm not taking off the wall. Too much effort to put it back on. Ross, who would your ideal signing be for Newcastle? A winger. As long as the likes of Jacob Murphy and Ryan Fraser are like first or second choice, I can't see us maintaining third in the league. And St. Maximan's proven to be a bit, I'm not going to say injury prone, but over the last year, he's been more injured than he has fit, I reckon. Well, I reckon a winger. Someone like, the name that keeps getting mentioned is that Diaby from Leverkusen, but I've never really seen him play. Trossard would be nice. Gakpo would be nice. I saw a thing earlier that's been saying it's been Gakpo's World Cup so far. We keep is that the Mudryk? How did I pronounce that? The lad from Shakhtar there in the chat. I think we've been linked with him as well. Or is it a guy from Zenit? I can't remember who we've been linked with now. Ryan Fraser, like, was going to be classed as a youth player, but he's kind of levelled off. I was very happy when he signed for Newcastle because he had that. I think it was like 2 seasons before the one he signed for Newcastle. He had that year with Wilson where they did lots of good stuff for Bournemouth, but then for Newcastle, under Steve Bruce, he looked disinterested. And under Eddie Howe, he's just not found that form that he showed under Howard Bournemouth. If we can get a few million for him, I would cash in, but until then, got to stick what you got, haven't you? Gakpo is more of a number 10. Yeah, I think a winger. But then again, we do have Isaac to come back into the team. And I like the look of him maybe off. Well, it's weird. It's weird being a Newcastle fan and having a squad with options now. As Harry Wilson lines up. Danger. Danger for a consolation. Because we've now got up like the front three that we could play. No, into the wall. Got Wilson. Got Isaac. Got Maximan. Got Almiron. Then you got Murphy. You got Fraser. Options as a Newcastle fan. Never had that for 20 years. Ross, stop Rashford, Sterling or Saka in the next round. Personally, I would go Rashford out of those three. Rashford one side and Saka the other. I don't think Sterling should start anymore. But then again, Gareth does like his experienced players, doesn't he? So I reckon he probably will. Oh, nearly in. Thriker! Straight over the bar. Who's that man? He was about 12 years old. Number 25 for Wales. Colwill. Colwill? Colwill. Colwill. Joe Linton's definitely not a striker. Joe Linton, we signed him as a striker, but he is the second coming of Patrick Vieira. And I'm not even taking the piss. It's fantastic. He just goes around tackling people really hard, just for 90 minutes, never stops. He's got a heart like a traction engine. Legs like traction engines. Not quite as good a passer. I don't know, he has his moments where he shows a bit of class on the football. But then again, he has those moments where he's a bit rash, but it's fine because he's Joe Linton. Big fan of Joe Linton. Thoughts on Ivan Toney? Did he deserve a call-up? Yes, he probably did. But I think it's becoming clear why he didn't. I think it's becoming clear that 236 or something reasons why he didn't. That's an intriguing situation, that, when you think about the bans that were handed out in the past for similar situations for far less. Kieran Trippier got a ban. Joey Barton. A couple of names that come to mind, so. Trippier got banned for 7 counts according to Lloyd. What were the reasons? Well, football betting, basically, isn't it? Going against the FA's rules on betting. Yeah, we had big bans for Barton and Trippier, and they got banned for far less. So we're in for a massive one for Toney. I don't know what the latest on that is. Trippier got banned for 8 weeks for telling his friends to lump on him going to Atletico. That's according to Rob L in the chat. I hope he won a few, says Stitching Static. I agree as well. Kiefer Moore's in. Edge of the box. Oh, dear. I think he thought he was playing rugby. Bit of Gavin Hance on there. I'm going to stop doing that now. Straight over the Denver. Bar. Favourite dance move, Ross? I used to be a big fan of the Adebayor. I'm not going to do it here. But when he would sort of get on his tiptoes and go from side to side like that. Hard to explain. If you saw Adebayor celebrate for Arsenal, or maybe it was Spurs, I can't remember. That was always a favourite at uni. As was the Okocha, where you grab, you know that stretch you do when you're pulling your thigh? You put your leg back up under itself, and then you do move that backwards and forwards with one arm there. That was another favourite as well back at uni. I had moves. I had moves for days. Did I watch the Senegal game? No, I was in work. We had it on. But in the office, our ITV hub situation's a shocker. It doesn't... I think our TV in the upstairs office is too old now to update the ITV hub and do ITV X or whatever the hell it's called now. So we're having to use Freya's as Fire Stick and the hub on there. We get to see about 5 seconds of the match and then it buffers. We missed a goal yesterday because of the buffering. Shocking scenes. 248 watching. Thank you for sticking around. 88 minutes gone. It's 3-0 to the England. The game has been dead for a long while now. I think both teams have accepted their fate. Lloyd says he was wrong. Trippier was banned on 4 counts of breaking the FA rules. Tony is effed. How long did Trippier get for breaking 4 counts of the rules? If you wouldn't mind Googling that. 10 weeks is in my mind, but it might not be right. My Fire Sticks works well and I'm watching on Peacock. Are you in the Americas? What content are you thinking for the channel? At the moment, stuff that takes relatively little time because it's in my spare time. And stuff that's relatively easy because I'm not an editor. I'm learning on the job. Everything you've seen. 10 weeks is correct. The Trippier broke 4 counts and got 10 weeks. And Tony's broke, was it 232 counts? Yeah, according to Toby Edwards earlier on, it was 232 betting counts. My God. I don't play Ultimate Team on FIFA because I'm not a mug. However much money the game is, just to buy is enough money to put into FIFA. Plus, I tried it the first year it came out, whatever FIFA that was. And I just got frustrated with the contract situation. Need a tier ranking of FA Cup winners on the channel. Yeah, there'll be a tier list hopefully going live tomorrow night. Myself and Jack Atkins did one about World Cup home kits. What's your favourite 2022 World Cup home kit? Let me know down below. Wilson's done well to get in there. He's a good footballer, mind. He's a very good footballer. Back to Trent. Back into Wilson. That's a difficult ball from Trent. 4 minutes added on. Generous again. Ecuador, Spain, Japan, Netherlands. I think the Netherlands is a shocker. It's awful. They've made it look like it's made out of that cheap silky stuff that knockoff football kits are made out of. It's so strange. Korea getting a shout out. Saudi Arabia's got a classy jersey. That got weighed down because of the green of the badge. The Saudi Arabian badge is different to the Nike green. That's what weighed it down. That's the only spoiler I'll give you for the tier list, though. Maguire's up. Whoa! Oh! Stones over the top. How has he missed that? Did the keeper save it or just straight over the top? Oh, it's straight over the top. It's clipped the Denver. Clipped the Denver on the way over. Has it? I'm seeing 4 things here. Frustrating contracts, pay to win, realistic football game. Yeah, I agree with you there. It's just the way the contracts, it sometimes would last for I don't know if it's the same these days, but that first year it was like they last for 3 games. And I didn't know that and lost half my players. I was like, what do I do now? I just gave up. Never went back. 9 minutes added on and around the USA. Not a fan of the shoulders on the England kit. It looks like 2 different kits stitched together, says Maya Cho. I agree with that as well. It's that stupid template that Nike have got this year, where the shoulders have to be different to the torso. Not a fan. I've just realised I've been drinking and I need to go to the shops to get my weekly shop and I can't now. What a tosser. What a tosser I am. Oh, I never think things through. Anyway. What's happened there? They've stopped Wilson going. Get it delivered. Deliveroo. Don't you have to pay a premium on everything, though? I'm a tight get if you can't tell. yeah, I'm not getting any. Me and my girlfriend had a because the football was on one Sunday, and I was like, it was near the end of the season last season. I was like, I'm not missing this. So we got the weekly shop delivered, and bless him, we had this Chinese fella turn up who didn't speak a word of English and brought the wrong bag of shopping. So we ordered maybe 50, 60 pounds of stuff, and he turned up with one bag. So I had to go running after him and trying to explain to him, you've given us the wrong shop here, was impossible because he didn't speak a word of English. It was incredible. So that's put me off from using there. What's going on here? There he got a fourth. It's not going to happen. That was a mess. Goodbye, Wales. Puma's template for Jersey are the drizzling you-know-what. Iran nearly. Bun Puma. Google Translate. I tried. I tried, but it wasn't working. Switch it over to Iran, USA. I like to see the final bit of the England game. Full time! What channel's the other one on? Is it on? Oh, you're going to see what I was doing now. Let me hide that one. And then we go to channels. Is it on an iPlayer? BBC 2. Do. So hopefully, if I put that back there and then just go ba-ba-boom. Ho-ho! We are on the different game. Probably far behind what you are actually seeing. That's a decent kit from America. Very nice game for the England, though. Do I think England will beat Senegal? Yes. It'll be harder than that game against Wales, though, as piss poor as the first half was. Whoa! Iran nearly scored there. American lady is in tatters. One second ahead of Johnny Jones. How far behind am I, everybody? Minute behind Cameron in Australia. 1 minute 40 behind. That's great. Try not to look at the chat for the next 6 minutes. Carlos Queiroz looking fantastic. Ten seconds behind. 1 minute 40. 40 seconds behind. Oh, it's not worse than cramp. Every night before I go to bed, right, I have a little thought of what if I get cramp during the night. I love a calf cramp mid-sleep. I don't know what causes that. Anyone know what causes a mid-sleep cramp? It only happens 3 or 4 times a year. But it's never nice. It can't be dehydration with me. I drink a disgusting amount of water. I've got that silver canister at work and I have at least 5 a day. I've got to hit 5. A lack of salt and water. Lack of salt. It can't be dehydration with me. I drink a lot of water. I've even got a pint of water right here, just to prove. Vodka. Need electrolytes, not just water. Potassium. It's everything, basically. Have you ever woken up for a pee during the night and your legs don't work? That's the worst. No. Basically. Oh, I wish that American nonce would put his drums away. Nonce in the Northumbrian sense of the word, which means idiot. My gran would often call me a nonce when I was a kid. Ross, you've been a bloody nonce there, son. Words are amazing, aren't they? Because I had no idea about the other connotations of that word until I was Must have been nearing 16, 17 years of age. A good old midnight crawl to the bathroom. I can never say my legs have not worked when having to wake up during the night. Oh, that's a cynical tug on the shirt. Straight in the referee's book. Jalali. Lovely name. Ever had sleep paralysis? I've got no idea. I want to do a sleep study. I struggle to get to sleep at night, me. Every night. I'm such a night owl, let me tell you. If regular hours for sleep were like 3 until 11, 3 a.m. until 11 a.m., I'd be fine. But they're not. Oh, something's happened, I think, in the chat. People are saying, come on, Iran. There's an Iranian flag. We've got less than 3 minutes left on mine. There's no MG from Emmett. Is he doing a Tom Campbell from earlier? I've got no idea. Get it forward, goalkeeper. USA have parked the bus. VAR, come on, Iran. Something's happened. What's going to happen? Oh. Away by Carter Vickers. Jalali's there again. Oh, I like the bite of Jalali. I might try and buy Jalali on FIFA tomorrow. If I can get Jason Denier to drop down to League 2, I can get Jalali. I like his Kavorka. It's nice to see that goalkeeper recovered after the England game. That was fantastic. Oh! 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 The referee's not interested. There's players on the pitch. They think it's all over. It's not now. What's happening here? Everyone stopped. 23's calling for VAR. I've tried to avoid the chat. Oh boy. He's onside. Is it a tug by Carter Vickers? Wait, another angle. Run it back, man. They're playing the replays too late. Well, there was an arm on the shoulder, but I don't know if there was a tug or not. Oh, it's all over. Such a bad dive, never a pen. Here we go. This is the replay we need. No! No, 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 no. He's just put his arm on his shoulder like that. There's no pressure on him. There's no tug. There's no nothing. No penalty. It's finished 1-0. Toby Edwards wants me to know that it's finished 1-0. American could score, though. American could score. Oh, he's crapped the bed. Is that Weah, number 19? Danny Murphy having kittens on commentary. Danny Murphy sounds like he should be living on Coronation Street, playing the part of an old lady who just... Maybe Audrey from Coronation Street. Reminds me of Audrey. Oh! Full time. Full time. Confirmation. It's not a penalty. USA have won 1-0. They are through to the next round with the England, Wales, and Iran go home. Will this stream stay up? Yep. I don't think I've said anything controversial. Ah! How do you get rid of that? Ah! Sorry. Right then, everybody, thank you for watching. Ah! Where's... Oh. Thank you for watching. BMP stuff was fine. That wasn't me. That was somebody else. So thank you for watching this first live stream on Hold and Give. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope there's many more to come. Maybe not for the England games, for the remainder of the World Cup, because, as I said, this is still in my spare time, and I'm probably go to the pub and watch them. But thank you for watching. Join me tomorrow on Twitch at 3 p.m. BST. But, excuse me, episode 2 of the Hartlepool Career Mode. Subscribe to Hold and Give. Give the stream a like before you go away. That's the best free way to support what we do here on Hold and Give. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you whenever the bloody hell I see you. Have a good night, everybody. Goodbye. How do I stop streaming? Where's the big red button's disappeared? I can't stop streaming. I guess we'll just have to continue streaming forevermore. I made the mistake of closing this thing before I went live, and I can't see the big red button anymore. We'll see what happens now. So I might see you later, or I might still be here. You'll have to let me know in the chat. So this is an official goodbye, but it might not be. So goodbye.